How's that for a countdown?
Wow. I'm pumped.
Beautiful.
Um,
I'm over here
you know what
doing
that?
this like Raven.
No, I'm ready. You know what that reminds me of is go to church on Sunday, man. They give you that countdown right before you get into church, and it's like, oh, it's about to happen. Something's gonna happen. Something's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
I to me, I'm thinking like I'm at a Tony Robbins like a seminar and I'm getting ready to have all this motivational shit dropped on me.
Oh
I love it.
man, ready to go, man. Tony Robbins, that's a throwback. Does he still actually have
Y-
seminars?
Yeah, he's bigger than ever right now, bro. Do you even have
Wow.
Google?
Listen, you want to see how old I am. I used to go to John Maxwell stuff live. You remember who John Maxwell is?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. John Maxwell was an inspiration for me and my dad, and pretty cool guy. Met him a couple times actually in person.
that's cool. I'm distracted because Alyssa, how did you get an Instagram set for your podcast? You look like you're on like an. I thought you were an Instagram photo for a second.
Thank you. The whole team's here. Say hi, guys. No, I'm kidding. I
How do
just
you
lucked
look at
out.
us? I mean,
Look
cute.
at and you know what? It took us 7 hours to get prepared for this shoot.
Here's what I'm confused with.
And she sat down. She sat down, and it was done. It was over with 5 minutes.
Here's what really makes me mad. I have this camera, all this lighting, this crazy background, multiple microphones, and she has an iPhone and some badass back set drop light. I don't know.
And hey,
I
with
know.
AirPods,
It just happens to be a plain
AirPods.
wall, and my ring light is bougie, I guess.
Dang.
Oh
I
man.
know. But thank you for the compliment. I'll
Well,
take it.
My just so you guys know, my I just got a text message that my dinner has been picked up and it's on its way. So if my dogs start to bark, I apologize ahead of time.
Does that mean
Uh,
that we're cutting the podcast short?
no, it means my kids are eating dinner, and I'm gonna press mute. My kids and wife are gonna eat. I'm gonna press mute when when the dogs start barking. It's gonna happen. They're gonna go crazy, guaranteed.
Well,
No
that's
doubt.
awesome. So I guess we start off by, Cuban, I guess you just need to kind of explain what this is,
Yeah.
and that would help everybody
Hey,
out.
yeah, man, this is insane to me that it happened so fast, right? I came up with this idea. It was March 8th, I believe it was. And after March 8th, everything just kind of took off 100 miles per hour, right?
Right?
And hi, Antoine, it's your son. What's up, Nathan? Thanks for joining, buddy, from your bedroom. Dinner's on its way.
Aw. Hi, Nathan.
Oh man,
So
so
cute.
so I had this just epiphany, and it was after my own little situation, and we'll get into that when I can talk more about it. Right now, I've got to keep my mouth shut with s- uh, certain stuff just because of litigation, and so anyways, um, had a little situation mental health wise, guys, and literally the very next day after that situation, I came up with this idea. I started writing down stuff in a book. I recorded a video in my car that I haven't shared with anybody yet. That basically in that video I'm saying, and this is the day before I had the epiphany. In that video, I'm recording myself saying that I'm going to change the world somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I've got an idea, and that idea hasn't hit me yet. But when it does, I know that there's going to be some big changes coming. So long story short, man, this was the idea that came to me after a little mental health breakdown, and I just reached out to you, Mikey. Reached
Yeah.
out to you, Alyssa. We both have some history. I mean, I'm sorry, all three of us have history, but Mikey and Alyssa don't know each other until kind of today, really.
I know.
And we're
And
gonna have
then,
Alyssa. She's going in and out because she's
well,
using data down in the basement in Houston.
I heard that she heard the both of us, and she said, "I can't do this podcast anymore. I'm out of here." She just
Okay.
between the.
Hey,
No, I'm joking.
Dingo, Dingo. So you came over from TikTok, man. I created that page just a week ago, and I started hitting it with Seven Dust videos, and that thing blew up. So I am so happy to see a fan from my TikTok page that I created.
Oh,
Thanks
that's
for
cool.
joining, brother. Yeah. So Mikey, I mean, I reached out to you and I said, hey, I've got an idea. You're somebody that I've looked up to. since I was 24 years old, 25. I believe you're. How many years younger are you than me? We figured.
I'm 35.
Yep, and I'm 37. I turned
Yep.
38 in June. I looked up to you, man. You're younger
Oh, I
than me, but
appreciate that.
you were in radio when I lived in West Palm Beach, Florida. I used to listen to this radio station called 103.1 El Buzzo, right? The Buzz.
Hey, welcome back to the party.
Welcome back. I mean, so we need to talk about your service provider and Lord and Savior Jesus Christ after the show, Alyssa.
Was I gone that whole time? I couldn't
Yeah,
hear you just
we're
fine.
actually done with the show. We covered
We're
every
done.
topic.
We're all done here. You're done. We're done. Everybody's
spoken very
done.
highly about me while I was out.
I'm gonna go.
No,
change-
we were actually just talking about each other. So,
Nice.
hey, so Mikey, I was explaining that how I met Mikey. Just he used to be a radio personality on a radio show, and
But I wasn't a personality that sounded like this disc jockey. I was a drunk superhero named Batnails who wore a Michael Keaton 1992 Batman mask with all Under Armour and custom yellow top Converse that said Batnails on them, and I would sound like, "What's going on, Cupcake?"
There you go.
And
And I may or may not have accidentally. No, I didn't do it accidentally. I used a Batnails photo when I started to drop some hints of who was going to be the host on this show, and I
Wow,
got a
that's
lot of
great.
messages, dude. That
I was the most popular human being. Bradley Cooper used to call me, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. They all wanted to
I
voice how I
heard.
did it.
I heard you had the opportunity of running for president, and you turned it down.
Actually did. I did. I turned it down. I just didn't think that I could change the world in 4 years or 8 years. So I gave it all up and became a stay-at-home dad doing a podcast.
Unfortunately, nobody can right now nowadays, man. But we're gonna move right past that conversation for the first show, and
So we met, right, and it created this beautiful bond. And recently, the Cuban called me and said that he's got this great idea that is going to broadcast mental health, and he's going to actually have he's got a pretty cool concept. I mean, most people don't have a concept like this that actually is so niche, and his concept is to take care of people and have conversations about people, the first ones on the scene, the army, the police officers, the firefighters. And I mean, that's just something that's pretty cool. And I would love to actually just, do this and hear from them. So what is your main purpose in this, and what kind of people are you going to have on the show?
Man, listen, I don't want to narrow it down to particular people because I want fans to come from all over the place. But I want everybody to understand that this show is going to be geared towards to help our first responder community. And when I say first responder community, this flag behind me here, it represents, and I'm going to go this way, it represents what I mean by first responders. So you've got corrections officers, you've got dispatch, you've got your EMS, you've got your nurses, your firefighters, your police, and your military. These people are the backbone of every country, not just the United States of America, but every country that you go and visit. And the reason I want to give back to this community is because they are the most underpaid and underappreciated group of people in our country, especially the United States of America. I have a personal relationship with somebody, at least one person in each one of these categories. My father was in the military. My grandfather was in the military. I've got a couple best friends out in Florida who are deputies out your way, Mikey.
Cool.
And so these people mean a lot to me. These people mean a lot to me, and I wanted to be able to give back, but in a positive way. I didn't want to do a mental health show where we're beating each other up, man, and people are reliving their trauma and their past. I wanted to bring music into this, right? And that idea kind of came from a Seven Dust show that I was at just recently, that I used the clips from that show to launch this idea on TikTok. So I want to give back, man, to the people that have given so much to me, and
did you have this idea? I don't mean to bring the humor, but did you have this idea when you were growing a beard? Because studies say that men who grow masculine thick beards tend to think about other manly things to do. So just a question.
Great question. It was asked just as the doorbell rang with our food here for the kids. And the dogs didn't bark because
So
mom is over here.
Wow.
oh,
She hushed them just as the doorbell rang, and they actually listened to her, which is incredible. You're my hero. You are my hero. Ask that question again. I got distracted by how well she tamed these dogs just now.
yeah. So I was asking the question. This question comes from Jeff26 on Twitter. That person is completely made up. But my question was, how did you create this idea by growing a masculine black beard? That is a
No,
question that I had.
I grew it by having a mental health breakdown and spending a night in the hospital. I mean, honestly,
Dang.
let's just be real. Let's just be real. This idea was after I had an interaction with a police officer who, um, let's just be frank, instead of an ambulance being called for me, I had a police officer called when I was having a medical emergency. People tend to forget that mental health disability is also a medical emergency. And so, a lot of times, unfortunately, in our country, Mikey, when somebody is having a mental breakdown, isn't it crazy that the ambulance isn't called, but the police are? But if that person was
Wild.
having a heart attack, if somebody was
Yeah.
having a heart attack, an ambulance would come. An ambulance
Yeah.
would come and help that person out. And so that's why this was born, is because I was that medical emergency that instead of an ambulance, instead of going to a hospital, I was put in handcuffs in the back of a police car on March 7th. And those guys, though, let me tell you something, even though there's a stigma with police, they were so good with me. They were trained so well in my situation. My wife's telling me I'm talking too much, guys. So you let me know if I am or if I'm not.
No,
No,
no.
you're good. You're
You're
kind of
good,
introing the
Mikey.
whole podcast. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate you giving me that green light. She tends to tell me I talk too much, and anyways, so um, that's how this was born. Is because I want to be able to bring awareness to this topic that is so taboo. That somebody like me, your everyday guy that works a 9 to 5 job. He's got a house, he's got a car, he's got beautiful children. On the outside and on the surface, everything looks like everything is great and fine and dandy. But I'm a human being. I'm a human being as well, and I've got things and demons and stuff that people need to just start talking about. That way, we can help each other heal. And I'll tell you, there's a million drugs out there and a million doctors, and um, I when I have a panic attack or when I feel like something's about to happen to my body, because I'm very in tune with my body now, and I can feel things coming on, anxiety. Um, the one thing that calms me down the most is putting on some music, and it's heavy metal for me, right? When I'm just having a horrible day, I start to get shaky. Things start to just go to crap around me. All I have to do is put on some headphones and put on some metal music, and I'm playing Seven Dust, I'm playing Nonpoint, I'm playing Five Finger Death Punch, I'm playing Breaking Benjamin, I've got Skillet, and all of these bands. It's crazy how this happens, but when I put it on and I start playing their music and it plays randomly, the music that they start singing for me, it directly speaks to what's going on to me in that situation, right in that moment. And it's like going to church for me, Mikey. It's like going, a concert and putting on some music. It is spiritual, it is moving, and that's why I wanted to bring awareness to mental health. But let's talk about music. Let's not talk about doctors. And there are other ways, man, coping mechanisms. There are all other incredible ways to deal with your stress, and Alyssa's going to be able to share that. She's our expert. She's somebody that has
Yeah,
dealt
I'm
with
very
this.
curious about the
I mean, look at
person
her
who
just
got the Instagram set.
look
And
at her just sitting there. Doesn't she look like a counselor or a
thought-
therapist?
did.
With my glasses
I
on.
did. She should be studying as to be a therapist, 100%. Yeah.
she-
What is your
she's-
story? Who are you and what do you do?
Let's go, Alyssa. Go.
Okay, so I actually wanted to be a therapist growing up. Like, I realized the benefits of therapy early on. I had a rough childhood and was in therapy by 14. So originally, I wanted to be a therapist and help others kind of give back to that community. But I realized that, and I respect the people that do it, but I realized that life is just so heavy on its own. I wanted to go a little bit of a lighter avenue for my work. Does that make sense? Keep the heavy for
Right.
like this, managing it day to day, but then because I'm also an empath, so I feel like I would have taken a lot of that home with me too. So I actually went in a completely different direction and studied fashion business instead. And from there, I've worked several different jobs in the industry, but as of last year, I actually launched my own brand called Mindful Mode, and I sell accessories and jewelry that advocates and raises money for mental health.
That
So
is
things that
cool.
say like fuck anxiety, anxious but cute, blessed but a little depressed, things that advocate and circulate discussion about mental illness and what Antoine's saying, just trying to normalize it. Like I think one of the things that makes being mentally ill, as I am, as we all are on some sort of spectrum, harder is having that stigma that still lingers behind it, having the police called versus an ambulance. It's not treated the same as a physical illness when it very much is the same, equal, if not worse in some cases. So yeah, that brand, creating that has really given me a cool platform to share my own story and help other people feel comfortable to share their story as well. So just by doing markets and just having people message me and just saying, I got my fuck anxiety necklace in the mail. I don't take it off. I love what it means to me. I love what you stand for. And a
Right.
portion of the proceeds go to mental health nonprofits as well, too. So that's kind of nice. I was able to give back in that way.
Hmm.
But yeah, and also started blogging around the same time that I launched the business because I was like, I would like people to hear firsthand, my story and what I've been through. And I'm sure we'll tap into it more as the podcast goes on. But I am diagnosed with PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and borderline personality disorder. So each and every one of those
So
disorders very challenging to live with.
does that mean that on the show we're gonna have like really cool personalities come out sometimes?
So that's
And
actually
it's
not
like
what
it's
I mean.
always creative. Like people are like, "Oh my god, who's coming next?" Right?
Yeah. So that's actually like split personality disorder, borderline personality disorder. They've actually debated changing the medical name to an emotional dysregulation disorder because that is actually more accurate to what it is.
Hmm.
So essentially, we feel things very extreme, similar to bipolar, but a little bit different. Yeah, so I feel like if I have a trigger and something hurts me or something offends me, like I can only really see it in black or white, like something is all bad or it's
Right.
all
Wow.
good. We lack that middle ground that most people have to be like, oh, it's a little bit bad and it's a little bit good.
I can
I
relate
see it
to
in
that.
extremes.
I can
Yeah,
relate to
so
that.
and a lot of people can think in black and white. Thinking is very common, like amongst people that are not mentally ill as well. But yeah, so that's something that I struggle with, one of the three disorders. But yeah. So
It's
that's
actually
my story, kind of a little recap of everything.
well, it's fascinating, and what I'm noticing from watching like the both of you talk is there. It's almost making me now kind of. Yeah, I feel like both of you are like a therapist to me. So I'm gonna figure both of you out. But like
We're actually gonna figure you out.
I'm thinking of some stuff now. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good like black and white. I'm seeing
Hmm.
this in like a marriage part sometimes. I'm seeing this in personal stuff. Like,
Yeah,
oh, it's a black and white thing, and I'm not
yeah,
taking the middle ground. Hmm.
absolutely. It's a hard skill to have. I feel like most
Mhm.
people can struggle with it, but people with BPD, we just kind of lack that chemical that most people have that you know enables you
Right.
to regulate normally.
Hey,
Since I am a
shout out
father,
to
I gotta say
go
goodnight
ahead.
to my boy right now. Hold on, real quick.
Oh my God, look at this.
Oh,
Look at this guy.
hello,
Look
This is
at
cutie,
him.
Levi.
Can you do
Levi.
me a
Hello,
favor?
Levi.
This is
Can you do
Levi
me a
Michael.
favor?
Yeah.
Mm.
Can you just give him a little tickle in the stomach,
She's your
please?
baby. Who's your
Oh man,
baby? You want to say
he
hi?
is.
Go say hi. Say hi.
Hey, Levi. Levi, I thank you so much for making the clothes that everybody wears. We appreciate you, sir.
Say I love
Yeah,
you. Say
yeah.
hi.
Oh
Hi,
man,
Levi.
he is.
We're gonna
Hey,
tell him.
Mikey,
Yes.
don't put him to bed. Just let him run the rest of the show, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
we will be the best podcast ever.
Yeah, we
Is
will.
Eden sleeping too? Okay. All right, everybody, round of applause. She can say goodnight if she wants to as well. I'm sorry, Kim, but if you want a mental podcast show, you got to have some cuteness.
Oh,
Hey,
of course.
So yeah,
let's
I guess that's what I'm very excited about diving in with you guys is that it's different, and I'm a big advocate of that. Mental health is it's just nobody talks about it, and it's very,
Yeah,
very important.
100%. It is very
it's
important, especially
there's a
now.
stigma, right? There's a
Yeah.
stigma behind it, and um, you know, a lot of us that struggle with it, we're really good at hiding it, and
Mhm.
that is a way we cope with it. Okay, so one of my coping skills is teaching others how to get this thing under control. It actually
Yeah.
helps me. It actually helps me. I'll tell you, I did a IOP program at a mental health hospital last year when I had some pretty bad panic attacks. I took some time off, and there's it's basically AA. It's a group setting with people in a circle that talk about mental health for 3 hours a day and their struggles, and there's a therapist that kind of leads everything. And I found myself at the end of these 6 weeks leading the meetings myself and not the therapist, and people were talking to me at the end of these meetings. And I found that teaching others after learning coping mechanisms and after learning how to deal and handle with this mental health disability that I have, the best way for me to handle it is to teach others and to talk about it. And that's why I love this concept that now, you know, not only do I do those 3 hours a day, that tune up on my brain, but when we do this once a week, it's a tune up again for me because I'm able to talk about these things and I'm able to heal myself by talking.
That's awesome. I feel very similar to that. Like, I feel like by speaking, it's so therapeutic, and having people that have relatable stories and shared experiences kind of come together and talk. It's, you and I both love to talk. We could talk forever. That's how we make our money.
Yeah, that's how I made a living for the past
Yeah.
7 years, right?
Same.
Mikey,
Mhm.
you're muted, my guy.
Hey, I'm back. Who
Missed
hit
you.
that silly mute button? Um, I'm really intrigued with hearing like what these first responders have to say. Like, I think that's cool as shit that you can hear like what a firefighter goes through, what a
Yeah.
cop goes through.
Yeah,
I took my
absolutely.
golden retriever out. I just bought a baby golden retriever because I said, listen, my kids are too cute. What can I do that's one step cuter? Let's get a golden retriever. But I went to Target and there was a bunch of officers there. They just did some, stealing bust. And the cop it actually knows our old radio station days. And he was telling me that a lot of golden retrievers and dogs now are being adopted for police therapy. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That
That's
is very
incredible.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
incredible, and I would love to have a canine police therapy dog on the show. I've got people lined up, which is awesome, Mikey. I've got a personal friend of mine who's a local deputy here in Fort Worth, Texas. And oh, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I am a huge
I'm
fan of
sorry.
this. I'm a huge fan of this little girl. I would
You
like
might
for her to
know
come
her. Come on,
on.
Eden. You might know her.
She's got her
She
own show.
Yeah, she has the Eden Rose show, and she went viral in 2018 when she was a year old. We took her to Disney World, and she saw Mickey Mouse, and I filmed her reaction, and it got over 1 million views, and it changed.
No
Yeah,
way.
And this reaction
Unreal.
made me cry.
say hi, Eden.
Eden,
I
how
need
are
to
you?
watch it.
Sock, say hi. You did.
Hi,
Hi,
Are you
you're
ready to
so
go to bed?
shy. Eden, when are you going to have another episode of your show? I really miss watching your show.
She's nervous. Oh, you did so good. You did so good. Can I have a kiss? Let me get a kiss, man. I love you.
I can't wait to have another episode of her show. Like, I'm a huge
She's
fan.
just so delightful. She's got the most innocent soul, and she's so happy. And we try really hard talk about like mental health. We try really hard to not do what the sins of our fathers and mothers are. We try to like really have a different plan, love different, bond differently. Just the experiences that we have, the way that we communicate. We monitor everything. Even Disney's, like Disney movies, we fast forward through some of that stuff because it's like some stuff just doesn't need to be in her head. When I watch it now, I'm like, what the hell? I don't need that in my head either.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm very conservative on that part of my life because it's like once you have a kid, regardless of like all the media and different this, that, once you have a kid, it's like the most simplistic spiritual thing, and you're just like, I just have to protect and love and cherish. And
Well, I mean, if I can say from one dad to another, Mike, man, I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm
thanks, dude.
seriously, I'm gonna get sentimental with
Such
you.
a better
but,
life than radio. Wearing a mask.
Aw.
It is so cool. I've kind of watched you and followed you grow up. I mean, you're only 2 years, 3 years younger, but still, seriously, I'm so proud of you, brother. You're an amazing dad. What a gorgeous family you have, man. So it's dude,
Appreciate it.
From bat nails to daddy. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yep. All you got to do is change your watering hole sometimes, and you'll be amazed at what comes out.
Mike, talk to us about you, brother. Give us your background, the show, and what you did, and
Okay.
give us some of Mikey P.
Yeah. So I started. I was always filming. I always loved the idea of filming. So kind of 15 through 18, 19, I was into more like getting a casting call to be on like CSI Miami, just ridiculous stuff. But I loved watching, films be made. I then left high school. I always wanted to get out of high school. I went to like this school called John I. Leonard. It was just not what you would think of, a school would be. It's just kind of blah, right? So I wanted to get out. I went to film school. I had really cool teachers that pushed me more of like getting in the industry. So when I left school, I was in the industry, and I did some filming, and then, baby, I'm doing a show. Get over there, all right? You're not going to get a cookie tomorrow. I promise. There will be no cookies. Stand right there. So I did that, and then when I came home, I went to a radio school, and that's where I got an internship to join a legendary rock station called The Buzz. So I joined this cool rock station. I was just an intern, and my idea was like, oh, if I'm in, and I'm going to make this happen. Like, I'm not going back to anything else other than this. The station has been my life. I remember in 5th grade, they used to have this big Buzz tent that would show up to your school. They were legendarily known for the Buzz Bake Sale, which was originally 22 bands, $22 or something like that. And then it just morphed into this place where you would see all these amazing bands. Pretty much every band that you know and love today has played in that show. And John O'Connell made that station. And that was kind of like my big break. From the radio station, I got my next moment where, you guys know Big Worm from the Friday movie, Faison Love. He was in Couples Retreat. He was in the movie Elf. He was the big black elf at the mall.
Okay.
So he was he came in the studio one day. I worked for all 4 stations, so I did video work for them, and I was filming him through that day. He asked me to show up to his comedy show that night, where he was like, "Oh, we got Bat Nails in the house." And the moment literally happened like this. The crowd knew me, so they cheered. I think he took a liking, because we went out to dinner that night, and then 3 days later he says, "Hey, come to Belize on a family tour with me, with like all these different actors and comics." So I went to Belize, and then literally from Belize went to Los Angeles, where I met Jon Favreau, who is doing all the Star Wars movies. He did Iron Man, the Avengers, right? And then that morphed my career of writing sketch comedy, writing stuff for them, filming a lot of their behind the scenes, doing parts like that. And from that point, I came home after a few years. Just stuff didn't work out. It was still an amazing time. I lived in Nashville for a while, did some music rep stuff, worked in restaurants, did a crazy hustle. And then what I'm currently doing now is I produce content media for companies. So if you have a brand or a business, I take that and I do like the TikTok, the Instagram, but I do it in much more of like a lifestyle way. And my wife and I own a lifestyle photography company that does all these photo shoots, a bunch of weddings, stuff like that. And then we also own a coffee company called Roast Up Coffee, where we roast coffee. So we're on this entrepreneur kick. I'm
Unreal.
obsessed with this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. I just love those people who, it seems like I'm doing a lot, but I'm only doing this, and I'm so comfortable. I get to see my kids 4 days a week. I get to work from home. I get the opportunity to just leave for a week and go on vacation. and still be able to manage. So I'm absolutely obsessed with like this new way of work and business. I was admiring your brand, Alyssa, because I think that's really cool, and I like the meaning behind it. So I like knowing that, like, oh wow, and plus you seem like you know how to do it on social media, where you can be on Etsy and TikTok and and make all these different content pieces that can lead to all your success. So it's pretty cool. But that's me in a nutshell. And most importantly, I'm just the dad. All this is a desperate move to be home with my kids as much as I can. I set a goal out and I said, I can make this much money, but I can also make a lower amount of money and have this much time with my family and be much happier. And if people should judge happiness based on it's not about money, right? It's not about how big of a car or all this bull crap that they install in your head. It's about if you can wake up on a Monday or Tuesday and you can just have that joy and happiness and look at your life and be like, this is awesome, right? That's where you can have that type of happiness. And then also knowing the balance, right? Like, there's friends of mine, they work 7 days a week. They barely see their kids. They think that that's all right. And if you're not there during this precious 1 to 5 year old stage, it's gone, right? So that's just my goal. Eden, you better get into that bedroom. I'm telling you this right now, because if you were just sitting there, I would be cool, but you're not sitting there. You're running all around and you're messing with those lights. That's it. Goes down to one cookie. All right, I'm back. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing a podcast. So
and here you are, right?
Yep.
And listen, the call that I made to you, it was out of nowhere, right? And I told you the idea. I told you how I looked up to you, man, in the radio world, right? So I'd show up to every concert. I'd show up to I'd show up to the radio station. Ross Mahoney would
Alyssa, I don't think the Cuban can't explain himself. That he does a horrible job. He didn't just show up. He was this larger than life, crazy rock and roll guy that would get muddy and filthy and sloppy at a concert, and he was just like, exactly. He was just this guy that did this, right? And he just shows up to all the buzz stuff. Thank you so much, Eden, for the water. Well, see, now you can stay. Now you're proving yourself. Now you're a part of the show. You're the executive producer for Daddy.
You're hired.
So he was just this nut. And then when you work at a radio station, you have a group of people that like really love your station, because this just wasn't a normal station. I mean, this was 25 years in the making. It's been around. It was massively popular.
Wild. Yeah.
It was just super cool. The music was awesome. It was that last bit of like that alternative generation. It was just like, oh, thank God. Like right now, you want to talk about mental illness. Like I live in a neighborhood where all kids listen to now is rap music, right? And I love it. That's cool. I'll listen to it till the cows come home too. But it would be so cool if one of the teenage girls in my neighborhood, teenage boy, anybody came by and it was just a rock song, right? I don't care from what era, just something else that's not saying something vulgar, putting themselves down. The stuff, it's not like normal rap. It's like ratchet rap, and they're 12, 13.
Oh, yeah.
So if teenagers listen to the show, just please, for me, roll down the window, pop some rock and roll, maybe some country, some salsa music.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't get me started. I'll play salsa music on this show all day, baby. I'm Cuban. Don't do that. Don't do that. Suavemente, bésame. Te quiero sentir tus labios besándome otra suave. Hey.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This is my shit cup. Poop cup.
Love that.
You know that we're eventually going to be playing music on this show. We still have to figure out how to not get banned from using Twitch, because the first time I tested out how to use Twitch, I was playing some Seven Dust music, and immediately I was told that I can't do that because I don't own the rights to the music, even though I pay
Oh,
for
no
Spotify
way.
Premium. I don't, I'm just going to need to reach out to the guys directly, Mikey, and ask them if it's okay, and I'm sure they'll say fine.
Yeah, that's fun. So let me. So this is our first show, right? So this is what, an introduction.
Yeah. Kind of.
It
And
is.
kind of. So I think that you should, tell people kind of what to expect, right? So because the way that you sold me, the way I'm sure you sold Alyssa. So what can we look forward to in the next few weeks?
Yeah, great question. So, number one, first and foremost, I've got first responders, prior military member, veterans, and stuff lined up that want to come on the show, and they want to just share their story, about mental health, and they want to share music with us. They want to talk to us about what songs got them through some of the greatest times and the worst times of their lives. Um, that's gonna be a fun part. It's almost gonna be like a radio show where we're gonna be doing some clips of music. We're gonna be interviewing these people and asking them why that music is so important to them. The next part of this show, it's not going to be live. So I'm sorry, we're going to be doing that once a week, right, Mikey? We discussed, Alyssa, that we're going to do that
Yeah.
show once a week. We haven't selected a day and time yet, but I guess Sundays at 7. We're
Yeah.
going to have to look at what's going to work best. But anyways, we'll announce that when we decide that. That's going to be our regular weekly show, and we're going to stick to a date and time. And we're going to have those people on the show. But supplemental stuff, right? The stuff that's going to be on the side. Mikey's going to help me out with this because he's incredible when it comes to like taking raw video and breaking it down and then just making some incredible content out of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I love your content, man. The stuff that you have out there, I would love for the people to go check it out. Mikey Likes It show. I'm a foodie. I absolutely love food.
Yeah.
And that was fun, man, watching you go to these donut shops and all these coffee shops and stuff, trying stuff. I was living through you here in Texas, man. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I do an Instagram thing called Foodies Eat Here, and it's got a great following. I think I'm up to like 74,000 followers now, and it's just kind of
Nice.
about where I go to eat.
Yeah.
And I like it. I food is oh my goodness, it's just so delicious, And I'm on this great diet, right now, because if I could just let go and live in a trailer somewhere in the mountains and I could just eat it, right, and chill for a little bit, I think I would change. I think I would do that. And
Yeah.
food, which I'm sure Alyssa and we'll get into, is food also ties in with some mental health, right? Some people have eating
Definitely.
disorders. Some people eat for
Binge
depression.
eating. Yep.
Binge eating.
Absolutely.
They're addicted
I'm a
to
binge eater.
sugars.
Hi,
Oh,
my name's
yeah.
Antoine Pekacek, and I binge eat every night at 12 in the morning.
You do?
I do. I go in the closet in our pantry and I just scarf down whatever I find first, which is usually a jar of Nutella.
Oh my God, Cuban! It's time to start maybe focusing on your health too, bro.
I'm working on it. I'll tell you what, guys. I've made some changes since my last little mental health thing, right? So caffeine was a trigger for me, and
Yeah.
sugar. I've cut out caffeine and sugar. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs, but caffeine and sugar are my drug of choice. Let's just be real, guys. They are a drug. And so
definitely.
for some people that have mental health, you got to be very careful how much you're doing. It's all in moderation, just like anything in life, right?
Yeah.
Anything that's bad or good, it has to be in moderation. And so I love my Cuban coffee. Mikey, thank you so much for sending that out to me, man.
Yeah. I lace it, by the way. I lace it with pure cocaine.
And that is why I was in the back seat of a cop car just 2 weeks ago. I appreciate that.
There's a lot of chemicals in my coffee, and I'm sorry. So
no, everything in moderation. But
Send me some.
food, I'll tell you, food can be good and bad in mental health, right?
Yeah.
It can, if you're healthy, right, and you do it the right way, food can absolutely make you feel good because you're doing something right to your body and you're being healthy and you're cleansing it. Or on the flip side, I mean, just you look at me on the flip side, it could be unhealthy, guys, right? So you could do some binge eating, you can put a lot of nasty stuff in your body,
Mhm.
and we do that to mask, the pain that we have, and there's these endorphins that are released when you're eating food, and it's a disorder. It's a disorder, and it is part of mental health, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a big piece.
Yeah.
And they
This is
say too that, sorry to interrupt you, Mike. They say too that gut health has a lot to do with like mental health. Have you heard of that before?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I want to research more into it. I feel like I know it's a fact, but I want to like look into certain things that you can eat that can help. Like if there's things that I could be eating that'll
Well,
like scientifically make me happier,
so
I
this
should
so
eat all
there
those things.
so there actually is so first of all, I have a friend named Dr. Apicella. He was a doctor at Premier Family Health. He's breaking off and he's doing his own thing, and this guy's 45 years old, but physically inside of him he is 34 years old, and it's all based on his diet and the way that he
Wow.
has his lifestyle. And there's a good person to follow. So have you ever heard of Bulletproof Coffee? The creator of Bulletproof Coffee is Dave Asprey, and he's a biohacker, and he's spent his half of the majority of his professional career biohacking your health and with mental health, with your physical health, with what to eat. And he is amazing to follow on Instagram. I've done 5 of his practices now, just with like the supplements I take,
Hmm.
the way that I, turn off lights an hour before I go to bed. I make sure that everything is dim, no more bright lights, no more cell phones, stuff like that. And what that does is help your sleeping patterns. Sleeping is beyond important, right? So
Yes,
making sure that you're
that's a
getting
big one too.
like it's
Yeah,
crazy huge, and we like ignore it, and it is
I
very, very,
know.
very important for everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
Um,
yeah.
so
Preach, preach, preach,
every,
brother.
Yeah.
Preach,
Antoine's like,
baby.
hey.
but
Hi, my name's Antoine, and I've slept 5 hours in the last 2 weeks.
like that was the thing with COVID. When COVID hit, I remember the doctor, nobody was talking about this, but one of the biggest things to fight COVID is better health, right? Because it attacked a lot of the older obese people, and it attacked a lot of obese people.
Yeah.
And we have our way that we go to grocery stores all wrong. When we go into a grocery store, we walk right, which is dairy and carbs and bacon and all this other stuff. When if you sometimes walk to the left, where you'll find a lot more vegetables and greens and proteins, and making sure that you're getting all that plays a huge health benefit on your mental health.
Mhm.
You eat all this sugary stuff and all this bad food, you're going to get depressed. You're going to go through all these up and downs. That's going to affect your mental behavior. So, yeah,
Yeah,
look at me.
it's like a roller.
I'm
It's
such
like a.
the food
It's like a roller coaster. It's like a roller
therapist.
coaster. When you're on
It
that
is.
stuff. Um, I experienced it today. I got up early for this event that my family and I did at the Texas Motor Speedway. We're helping
He's
raise
such
money.
a Texan. Look at him. He's such.
I know.
Man, I
Hey.
got my family together. We got my 4x4 truck.
Here's
We
what
went
happened, man. We
to
went
the
down
shoe
there
store.
to the Texas Speedway and we watched that Indy car.
Such
Right,
a
them
hope.
Indy cars were coming by about 230 miles per hour. They're faster than a NASCAR. I'll tell you what.
And Alyssa's
Anyways,
Canadian. Nobody even knows that. You're Canadian.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
Canadian, just
give
currently
us some.
residing in Texas.
Hey, give us an
Yeah.
A. Oh yeah, eh?
Oh
I
yeah.
feel like I have given a couple, eh?
I don't know. You sound
Hey,
nothing like a Canadian.
you
Nothing.
sound
I
very
sound nothing
American
like it.
today. You
Do
sound very
I?
American. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've been in America for a couple months now, so they're probably all
Hey,
rubbing off on
she's in
me.
the good old state of
So
Texas too,
you don't
y'all.
live
Hmm.
in America?
No, I'm just visiting, technically.
You like living in Canada?
I do. Honestly, both places have pros and cons. But I'm here because my boyfriend is in Texas.
Oh,
So
cool.
we
Shout out
met
to
on
Izzy.
Instagram. Yeah, shout out to
Does
him. But we
does
met
he
on what?
is he like a Yellowstone guy? Like is he like Kevin
He's
Costner?
no, no,
Like
no,
where
no. He is the coolest kind of guy you'll ever. Oh my God, I have a man crush on this guy. You should,
Whoa, watch
Mike,
it.
You should
no, I
see
understand.
him, bro. He is whoo.
I met a Marine at a wedding the other day that we went to. We actually did it, and this Marine got up and did like his best man speech. And I'm telling you, every single guy in that building got hot and heavy for this dude. He was like the perfect looking man, right? He had like the best hair. He was chiseled. He was so nice. He loved God. He loved his children. He was like every word out of his mouth was perfect. And I was like, oh my, I think I'm in love with
I'll
this
tell
man.
you what it is for me is I'm not a sucker for guys like that, for clean.
It didn't matter if you just heard his resume. He was like, I was in Black Hawk Down,
No,
and
no.
like he was
Oh
the
gosh,
greatest military.
was it my dad?
No,
Are you talking about Mr. Phil Moser?
your dad's cool.
Oh man, no. Listen, I'm a sucker for guys that've got tattoos all over their body, and I'm a sucker for a bad boy, is what I am. And Izzy, I'm not saying Izzy is a bad boy, but he looks like a bad boy, and I love that look.
I
And
got
Alyssa
7
knows exactly what I'm
tattoos.
talking
He's
about.
bad. I've saved him, but yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, no, I'm here strictly because he's here. I met him on Instagram during the pandemic, and we just started talking. We hit it off. It was very organic, and they were like, "This is a little inconvenient, but kind of perfect." And then I just came here in October, and then we're actually going
You
to
guys
Canada
met
for
on Instagram?
through the Black Lives Matter hashtag. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. So random, hey?
That's pretty cool.
Antoine's a big fan of the story. You've been keeping up, hey?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, no, so wild story. So that's why I'm in Texas. Had never been before. Came here, brought all my stuff, moved in with them, loving
Cool.
it.
Look
So
at
we're
that.
basically going to do 6 months back and forth in each country because that's all we're allowed to until
I played that game.
yeah, you did.
That's a sore subject we'll talk about some other time, but I definitely played that game, and you know what? I got burned. I lost that one. I lost that game bad.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Sorry, I'm changing microphones. That's how badass I am. I just
we're gonna
want
go
everybody
ahead.
to know.
Hill.
Oh,
I just
sorry.
want everybody to know that of everybody in the
gonna
group, I am definitely the coolest with the gear.
I'm just gonna.
I mean,
Here,
I
my
have a-
child wanted to come and say hi.
I have a
before she
video to
goes
do.
to bed.
So
Say
Antoine,
something here.
question for
Say
you.
something. Yeah. Go
Oh,
ahead.
are you gonna talk now? Okay, no. So, all right.
Talk to
Well, listen. Would you be? I think I gotta leave soon. I mean, how long? You just gotta let me know because I'm a dad in my mid 30s. So, can you hear me? Where'd you go?
I can hear you.
Can you hear? Did you hear that? Did you guys hear that?
No.
What was that?
Okay.
You
Can
just
you hear me
have to
now?
let me know how long. It's an hour show, right? Because this
Yeah,
one,
so
you
we
see
got
this one, I'm
13
gonna have to
minutes.
put this one to bed.
Yeah, we got 13 minutes left, so let's
Okay.
just me and Alyssa talk, and you go put that one to bed. I mean,
Oh,
I don't
no,
know.
it's
What do you
okay.
need to
No,
do?
she's okay. You okay?
Dads,
You want to go climb
Hey.
the roof?
this is a.
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Is
The
there a
road-
pool that you can jump into from the roof?
No. Whoa. Wow.
Too
Oh,
far,
that's
eh?
man. I had a goldfish die in a pool. All right. I'm
Why
joking,
was he in
guys.
the pool?
No, I'm
Okay,
joking.
yeah,
There
I
was
was
no
gonna say, I feel like that was your bad.
Hi, Baby Yoda. He threw me off at the pool, and I was like, "Whoa, bro! The
Yeah.
roof is cool, but the pool. I mean, that's like sick."
So
man.
listen, the reason I asked that is in Port St. Lucie when I
You're
lived in
sick.
Port St. Lucie, Mikey, we had a pool. We had a
Sorry, I'm
we
sorry,
had a
guys.
pool.
This will only
No, you're
happen
good.
once. Only once.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
Not
Listen,
all of.
here's the thing that people are going to need to realize is that you and I are dads, and
No,
we're gonna
no,
have,
it won't happen again. Unless
No.
Alyssa's going to be transported. They're going to come. Somebody's going to come and take her to Canada. We have not. I mean, that's what you got to worry about.
I can still do
Hey,
it from Canada. I can still do
Hey,
it from Canada.
you're lucky you got over here before that wall was built. Just saying.
Yes,
Yeah.
Big wall. Big wall. Bigly.
you look beautiful, honey. I love you.
Oh, he loves his wife so much.
I feel like I should have kept my puppy here because I was all like, okay, maybe there shouldn't be any interactions. We're gonna be super fun. But I
No,
could have
Alyssa,
just
here's the thing.
bought
What I
my
love
pup.
about this is
Yeah.
we're real people talking about real things. We don't
Yeah,
we
no, I
don't want to
love
be
that.
there's so many podcasts that you watch and it feels so fake and it feels so produced and it feels so it's just like we're real. We're real
Yeah.
people. all three of us, we are real people
Yeah, absolutely.
with
Okay, puppy coming on
gorgeous,
next time.
Yes.
yeah, with a gorgeous
I just,
family.
personally, this is all planned. I just wanted to let everybody know that not only do I have the coolest microphones, but I got some cute kids too.
You do
No,
have some
Cuban,
cute kids.
listen, listen.
But they
I'm not,
haven't seen my puppy yet, so they
They
can't really
haven't.
make a fair assessment.
and I'm gonna grab mine in a second too. We're just gonna have a puppy battle.
Hey,
He's
hey,
just trying to
Eden.
show off.
Eden, I have
I
a
know.
question for you.
Yes. Oh, Eden, he has a question for you. Are you gonna answer it? Oh,
Would
free
you-
hugs.
Would you like a free hug, Eden? I
Would
can
you like
give
a
you a
free hug?
virtual hug.
No, she said no. She's been trained well. No, but Cuban,
Yeah, that's fair.
on a serious note,
Good job,
man.
Eden.
On a serious note, this is really cool what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know that as we, it's always weird. The first podcast, I always tell everybody, the first podcast is so weird because you're trying to.
Yeah, and I never
balance
said what the second part of this was because something happened and I got thrown off. And there's two parts to this, right?
Yeah.
So there's the interviews that we're going to be doing weekly. Oh my God, Baby Yoda just fell head first into my keyboard. Okay. He's very top heavy. His head is like, anyways. The second part of this is I'm gonna get the cool part, and I'm gonna be selfish and be able to go to all the rock shows that come to Dallas. And I've had the pleasure of meeting some really cool people that have access to backstage passes and VIP this and sound check. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go to these shows and I'm going to get some quick sound bites of me meeting these bands and asking them what they have to say about our first responders and what they have to say about our retired veterans. And I'm going to be looking for some autographed stuff that I want to. Here's the big dream. This is the big dream. Is I want to get a lot of autographed stuff, and they're gonna make it out to. It's going to say to the first responders of the United States of America, and they're going to sign these things, and we're going to go up and auction them during our shows.
Cool.
And after we auction those signed memorabilia, drum kit or a guitar. We're going to 100%. I don't want a dime of it. 100% is going to go to PTSD or some sort of, mental health awareness program. Alyssa knows very well how this, how to run that sort of thing with her business, and she gives back.
Well-
So I'm going to have her help me do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mr. Mikey.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I didn't tell you that part.
No, I mean, this is incredible. And I mean, look at you. Look at us live. We got 3 screens. You got a flag in the corner.
A banner.
I mean,
A banner down below. Do you see that
yeah,
thing
I
going?
did. I
Yeah.
did.
I feel like we need shirts. Maybe make
Yeah.
us some t-shirts. Send them my way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I would love some t-shirts. The mental health t-shirt.
Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah.
And then on the back of that t-shirt, it's going to have our names, Alyssa, Mikey P, and the Metal Cuban. And every show that I go to, I'm going to wear that bad boy.
That's
gonna wear it.
awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, cool.
Well, we're running out of time. I mean, we've got about 7 minutes left, guys. We don't have to run this thing all the way to 8 o'clock. I feel like we've gotten everything out that we need to. Do
Me
you
too.
guys have anything left?
Definitely. Yeah.
No.
I don't think so. Are we going to discuss what's going to happen on the next episode? Or
Yeah, so
are we
here's
just going to leave
absolute-
it to be kind of a surprise?
No,
Yeah, I guess
no,
we're gonna. Are we interviewing
gonna-
somebody?
Yeah, we're interviewing somebody, and I want you guys. I'm gonna leave them wanting to know who it is. I'm not gonna release that today. We're going to release it probably sometime this week. So I need everybody to go follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, give
follow
them a
us on
tease. Can't just
Instagram.
tell them that we're gonna.
And I'm just gonna
Yeah,
give you a little
absolutely.
tease. The person that we're interviewing is one of my biggest heroes. Somebody that I have looked up to my entire life. And this hero that I'm talking about is just somebody that is incredible.
I thought you were
to
gonna
a
tell
lot
them.
of
I
people.
really thought.
I know, me
was
too.
gonna
I
tell them.
was
You
like,
just
oh, I
said
guess
you
we're
weren't going
going
to tell
with
them.
it.
You're going to tell them.
This person is incredible. This person was in the Air Force. He retired 37 years ago from the Air Force, worked at Area 51.
Ron DeSantis.
No, sir. He was in Guam during Desert Storm, Desert Shield. He's a F-16 mechanic. did all the cool things. He was also a bodybuilder when he was in the Air Force on the bodybuilding team, so he looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
Everybody get to the chopper. Get down if you want to live.
you don't sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger at all. It's
And
get
my dad-
down, get down to the chopper now.
Down to the chopper. I can't do it.
Alyssa, you do it. It's your turn.
I absolutely am going to pass on this. I'm not
All
going to be able to do
So
that.
Cuban, since it is the first episode, I need a hall pass. I need to go put this little one to bed.
We're out, guys. I think we've done what we needed to do. And
Definitely.
listen, first and foremost, I want to thank the two of you for agreeing to do this show with me. I love y'all. This is going to be incredible. I think this was a really good first show.
We're gonna dive into some real. It's really gonna be cool, and I think Alyssa is gonna really be the balance to talking to people. That's pretty cool. And Cuban, you're just gonna guide us through this crazy little world on your canoe.
I'm going to
Let's
guide
turn
us.
into a
I'm going to
ship.
guide us through it as much as I can. Again, I'm not the expert, but if there's one thing I know how to do is it's talk and help people through things. So I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about being able to do that, and I'm excited about the people that joined today. Man, we had maybe 8 or 10 viewers, and that was it, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. This thing's going to start slow, and we're going to build it from the ground
Alyssa,
up.
Alyssa, don't. I don't know how you'll take this, but if for any chance you did have another personality come out, just do it. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I would.
That's
mean-
not what it means, but this is why we're doing this.
I would.
This is
I'm
why
gonna
we're
have a different
doing this.
personality.
This
I mean,
is
I'm
why
just gonna-
we're listen. That's bipolar, and that's what I am.
Oh.
Okay, I'm bipolar. I'm a chameleon. I'm a Gemini, and you guys are going to get 13 separate personalities from
We're gonna
Antoine.
break
I guarantee
Cuban
that.
on this show. We're gonna make him.
So we're going to
cry.
put a ticker. Hey guys, we're going to put a ticker on these shows as we start going at the bottom there, and it's going to be blank days since Antoine cried.
Blank
Since
days
you
we're gonna
cried or
see-
since you had a breakdown?
What?
No,
I feel like
we don't
you
want
cry a lot.
We don't
no?
want
All
to.
right.
No, we
I-
don't want to
I
give me
am-
mental breakdowns.
I have to log off. I will.
Okay.
I'm going to be so professional. I have to log off. My wife.
You have to
gave
log
me-
off, and we love you. Goodbye. And tell the wife we said we
Do
love
I,
her.
do I just
Bye.
leave it and you guys kill it, right? You guys.
You
kill it
just
for
you
the
just
next
leave, and
20
Yeah,
minutes.
we're gonna
yeah.
finish this thing off.
Alyssa,
Mikey,
nice meeting you. The show's better if I'm just out of the way right now. Okay.
love you. Get out of here.
Yeah, go,
You
go
go.
do your dad thing.
Goodbye.
It was nice
Go,
to meet
go,
you
go.
too.
Oh man, he's something else.
Yeah, he's sweet.
Yo, what was I saying? Help me out, Alyssa.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not somebody who can help you out with things like this because I'm the
Neither
same
am I.
way. Oh no, you were talking about. Oh yeah, you were gonna name the bottom of the show. You were gonna say something about the last time
We
you
don't
cried,
want-
and I said,
we
"Is it
don't
gonna be the
want
last time
Antoine
you
to-
cried, or the last
Hey.
time you had a breakdown?"
Yeah, we don't know. We don't want me to have any more mental breakdowns. The whole
Absolutely
goal,
not.
the whole goal of this show is to help me, help you, help me, help you not have any mental breakdowns. So I think I want to go with the crying thing because I'm a crier, and let's see if you guys, I'm going to see if I can go like 3 consecutive shows without crying. That will be incredible. But this next show with our special guest that we're going to have next week, it's not going to happen. I'm going to cry so much that you guys are going to just absolutely think I'm something else. So I'm
I
excited.
think
I'm
crying
excited.
is healthy. Crying
Yeah.
is very healthy. I'm like
Yeah.
in full support of crying, so
Oh,
I also
well,
cry often. So
thank you for supporting me in my crying. And
No
Justin,
problem.
thank you for helping us out there in the chat with reminding us what I was talking about because
Did you? Okay. I can't
Justin
see the
jumped
chat, but I
in.
think that's just
Yeah,
hilarious.
Justin came in clutch, man. He said, hey, the ticker at the bottom, buddy. You guys are talking about the
Mike
ticker
left
at
the two
bottom."
ADHDs to run the show. I'm like, I don't know what you were saying. What
Okay,
was
so
I
do you
saying?
see what
What were
happened?
we
It was only a minute. It was only a minute. He left, and we were both going,
Bro, it was
what are
20
we doing?
seconds. You were like, wait, what?
What are we doing?
He's like,
We-
you guys are
it-
going to kill it? We're like, yeah, we're going to kill it. Wait, what are we doing?
Thank God we have Mike. Okay, so listen, we're gonna
Yep.
just shut this thing down. It's been a blast, and I think every show here on out is going to be a lot of fun. So thanks to
Definitely.
the viewers, thanks to everybody that logged in. You guys are incredible for joining us and being here so early. That's I'm going to start making all of you people that are here with us in the beginning my moderators because I don't want any assholes or any douchebags in the chat.
And you guys are going to help me kick these people out because we want nothing but love and positivity in here. We don't want violence. So I'm going to have Justin. I'm going to have Christian. I'm going to have Bonner. You guys are going to be kicking these people out, man. You're going to be my security. I love you guys. Thank you so much for showing up. Lissa, love you, girl. You have a good
Love you
one. We'll
too.
see you soon, okay?
It sounds good.
Later. And I always want to end the show with a little something that I came up with, and it's going to be on all the shirts that we make. And it's as always, guys, love, peace, and rock and roll, baby.
Love it.